Well, hello, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing, Howdy?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So we are live here Sunday morning. Seems like it's been a while, and
It's been a busy week.
it has. That's
Especially
probably
more
why
for you.
Why it seems like it's been so long there. But yeah, first week of CWTV is underway. We had a good week there. Some fun, exciting action there, and on top of that, just a lot of good racing. Kind of all over the place. You got iRacing. You had the 24 Hours of Daytona. We're going to talk about that today with iRacing. Then you had some dirt track.
Chili Bowl.
We got Chili Bowl. Then we got the Sunshine Nationals at Volusia.
Yes, we do.
Or Felucia.
Felucia, as Daniel would say.
Good morning, Mr. Ramsey. Good morning, Mr. Quinn. Uh-oh. Gosh almighty.
Speaking of Daniel, bam, there he is.
Yep. And we got a little F1 news.
We don't see your other buddy on here yet.
My other buddy.
Yeah. You know, John Etheridge.
Oh, he'll be here.
Yeah.
He'll be here. Maybe, we had a late race last night.
Yeah.
Maybe he's sleeping.
Old man needs a sleep.
His wife's burning down the house again.
He's in there.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you can say much better now that you're in VR and we all got that. I think VR keeps a microphone here.
Well, when you put your goggles on, it's got a little nose cutaway right here where your nose kind of sits in there. And yeah, like I said, I think the mic's right there.
So you got to hear the nice breeze.
The Darth Vader.
That is right. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
So,
and real fast, TommyBoy, where do you go for all the happenings?
www.BWSPORTS1.com. That's right, www.BWSPORTS1.com. That's got everything to do about here, Checkers and Wreckers.
Yep.
There.
Yep.
At BW Sport, Black and White Sports.
The one in the ass.
Everything BW Sports 1 related. You can find it there. That's right. And I'd say esports and whatnot, but I'm starting to think we are esports and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're kind of taking over that title.
Hey, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. We got to give a shout out to Mr. John Wayne Buzzard at First Financial, right?
Yep. That is john.buzzard at bankatfirst.com. If you need any banking needs, anything like that, check him out.
Yep.
And he'll get you taken care of, that's for sure.
We got Barbara Ford. They'll take care of you up Michigan. You don't have to be in Michigan to shop with Barbara Ford. You can get online. If you find a vehicle you like, get with our buddy over there, Barbara Ford. He'll hook you up, man.
You got it. Dustin is the man over there. So let's talk a little racing now.
Oh, and we got to mention one more, too.
We'll get that in the iRacing.
Okay.
I know that we got two of them there.
We do.
So
we do.
We'll hit that in the iRacing part. But,
gotcha.
Man,
start off with the little Chili Bowl talk.
Yeah. So we'll start right off the bat with saying, sorry, NASCAR, but this is the best win I've ever had. That's right. Kyle
Larson
nails it out and then comes out and says, hey, sorry, NASCAR, this is the best win I've ever had here. So it was an elusive win for him.
It was. He's tried for years, couldn't get it. He broke Christopher Bell's streak.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
Because, Christopher Bell had won the previous 3 Chili Bowls, was going for 4 in a row to tie Townsend Bell, was it?
Well, really? This Chili Bowl, man, that brings in some big names. I mean, we saw.
No, I don't know, not Townsend Bell. Who was it? Crap, my mind's drawing blank right now. And I'd picked Bell to win the Chili Bowl, so because we were in Discord there tonight, a few of us talking about it, and I was like, yeah, Bell's going to win it. No. And then the kid that finished 3rd. Oh, damn, what was his name? Let me do some Googling here. But, and in his post-race interview, they were interviewing him, and he was talking about how it's just an honor to be able to race with guys that he grew up as, his heroes, talking about, Larson and Bell. And I'm like, okay, well, they're pretty young. So,
absolutely.
So if you grew up and these guys are your heroes, which they're young in NASCAR, but, Bell and Larson both have been slinging on the dirt tracks for years.
Absolutely. And you know what was cool is I was looking at some of Kyle Larson's stuff, and man, he's got Justin Wilson in a lot of pictures. So you know they were buddies, obviously, from racing on the dirt and stuff. It's not something you really would have, or I would have thought of necessarily. I know Wilson was a fantastic dirt driver, but you just never really put the two together there. Good morning, Tanner. And he said, funny how much asphalt guys enjoy dirt so much more. Now, I won't say all of them are like that, but then you get there and you realize how much, I mean, it takes a lot more. You're in the car doing a lot more.
Yeah.
You're not just...
the way I kind of like to put it is, to me, asphalt's more of like my style because I'm lazy. You know, and dirt, you're in there and you're wheeling on the car, you're hustling on the car. You know, even a good handling car, you're still going to be, you know, putting a lot of wheel input into it. Where, you know, asphalt, you kind of come in the turn, set it, roll it, and come off, and you're not, you know, working on the wheels. But I
mean, that's what you're paying attention to in asphalt.
Cannon McIntosh was who brought it home to third.
So, and then there was some people losing sponsors at the Chili Bowl.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yes.
You should probably watch your mouth when you're, if you're Carpenter. You know, when he got out, he dropped the F-bomb. But, man, it's nothing like dropping that one. I'm not even going to say kind of what he got around. But, wow. Just kind of threw me off when I heard it. Oh, my God. Did he just say that? So.
And then we were talking about Larson, the post-race interview. He's still banged up from his wreck down under, like a month ago? I think that's when that happened.
Beginning of January here, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right after Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, so not even a month quite yet. But you could tell his eyes still all bloodshot. But
he took a tumble on that one.
He did.
Was a wicked spill there.
But I'll tell you, man, Larson's a wheel man. And not taking nothing away from Christopher Bell because, you know, Bell had the lead. And he said that on one of the restarts, he thinks, you know, when he's riding around the caution, his tire leaked down a little bit. And that allowed Larson to get by him. And then with about 10 laps to go, they were nose to tail. Mm-hmm. And I think that's just one of those deals where Bell wasn't going to stick it in there and make a move to take them both out.
Right. Man, those are dangerous cars to do that.
Open wheel, buddy, open wheel.
Well, that takes open wheel to a whole new aspect because you see the open wheel IndyCar wrecks. I mean, they're bad, but then you see these guys and, man, the flips and tumbles.
Yeah.
If they get sideways, man, a lot of times they're flipping.
And those cars are sketchy to begin with, so if you're out there locking wheels and stuff, it's not something you really want to do in a midget.
So did you see, like I said, the Chili Bowl really brings in a lot of different names
it
from
does.
racing. Did you see our buddy Santino Ferrucci?
Yes,
yes. He was up and running it, so he had a decent showing. It showed some promise there. Ended up in the K main. Didn't get out of that. Finished fifth. But
the K main.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That tells you how many cars show up for the Chili Bowl.
Right.
You know, most races you hear a D main, but a K main.
K main. Right. So and he finishes fifth there, and hops out of the car. Man, says he loves it. I mean, he's a wheel man.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
convinced. And like I said, I was talking to Hayden Cardwell. He was saying, he ain't nothing. He ain't going to do anything there. I said, hey, this dude took an Indy car through the grass. I think he might be able to figure out dirt. So I'm not saying he's going to be the biggest guy in the world, but yeah.
And you know, we've spoke about it before on the show. Dirt's something that, you know, it's you're not going to hop in the car and get it down pat overnight. That's something that takes a lot of laps and getting a feel for a dirt track and how it's going to change and how the groove's going to change.
Right.
And
so did you ever see the video when Magnussen came here? I think it was last year or 2 years ago. I think it was on the F1, that Netflix documentary.
He was out at yeah.
I think it was.
He was out at IMS too when they put the dirt track out there.
Okay. So he goes out there with Tony Stewart, obviously with Haas.
Because Stewart owns Eldora.
Right. And, well, with Haas's partnership there.
Yeah.
So they go out there, and Magnussen takes out a sprint. I think it was a 410.
It was.
So, I mean, that's a powerful car to get out. And he said, man, I was a little scared. So these guys, if you're going to hop on dirt, why can't you hop in an Indy car? That's my thing. But, no, I mean, these guys, man, they were wheeling it. They were nailing it. They had it down, and man, oh man, that a fun one there. There he is.
Speak of the devil.
He just woke up. Good morning, Mr. Etheridge.
Hey, and, I'm going to steal Daniel's line real quick. You know what he said last night? Said, John sends you Halloween candy for Christmas. You know why?
Why is that?
Because you're his boo.
Well, good morning, boo. I like that. That's pretty good. I got to give Daniel credit on that one. So,
yeah, Connor Daly was in the Chili Bowl too.
Well, he was a backup driver.
Yes.
So he backed up Davison. So Davison got his first start there, and man, I think if he really just stuck it out, he'd have a decent career there. But I don't know if I think he's so stuck in making his way in IndyCar. He just wants to focus on that, and I get it.
I do too.
But at the same respect, man, dirt is a different demon. It is a different demon.
Very different.
And maybe he's just not comfortable in it. So that's what a lot of things should be seen here. But I do wish, because you can tell Bell and Larson, they just enjoy the dirt series a lot more. So I hope, and we're seeing dirt get bigger, but I hope the national television starts to pick it up, and that way these guys can start winning a little more and make careers out of it instead of trying to use that as a ladder system into a bigger one to make some money and then go back into dirt. Because I'm sure we're going to see Bell and Larson they're going to finish their careers over in dirt. I would assume.
I kind of wish, though, that it would go back to the way it used to be with the USAC, midget sprints and Silver Crown series, because, it used to be they would run all three series out of like IRP, Winchester, Salem, and they would be points races. Well, and then towards the end of the season, you would switch over. You'd run dirt.
Right.
So, these guys were going from asphalt to dirt in the same season. And, and you'd see guys that were studs on asphalt get to dirt and were in the back, where guys that were in the back on asphalt were studs on dirt.
It really changes.
And you had some guys that could run both.
Right. So let's go back to a NASCAR track with dirt straightaways. You never would, you know what I'm saying? Daytona, dirt straightaways. You think that the dirt would have been in the turns there, but maybe have a throwback race, if you would, and do a little dirt at Daytona. I don't know.
Daytona's infield's big enough. You could put a dirt track down there.
And that's the coolest thing, that I really think Indianapolis Motor Speedway has it down there, and doing something there. So now during the Brickyard weekend, bring something dirt in. Let Larson, let Bell, let these guys run them with their owners there. It's going to bring in so many more people. You have that NASCAR crowd there. You have that there. So grow it off that. Make that, like we've said before, your new short track racing. That's your down home racing.
Your grassroots, as much as they blast grassroots racing.
Right.
You need to bring it to the masses. You need to make, in order for grassroots racing to grow and succeed, you have to make it more accessible to the masses.
Yep, absolutely. I completely agree.
When you have a little dirt track in the corner of North Carolina somewhere that only locals and people that live close to there know about, you got to get that out to the masses, because that's going to help a lot. That's going to help attract sponsorships for guys driving and racing out there, because a lot of these guys, they don't have sponsors. They're doing this,
out of their back pocket.
Brooks put it perfect in that post he put the other day. There was times where, he had plenty of money in his pocket. There was times when he had no money in his pocket.
Right.
There was times when he had, a refrigerator full of food. There was times when he was starving. Mm-hmm. And where was all that money going? He was spending on the race car. Right. And that's what these guys do. And, if you put the grassroots racing out there more, it's going to bring sponsors. It's going to bring more people in the stands. It's going to make the track make money to be able to survive and stay there. It's just going to create a great atmosphere for everybody.
Right. Absolutely. I 100% agree with you there. That, and as we spoke of before, NASCAR is not a very popular thing. So why not bring in a different crowd and get them into NASCAR as well? So you could really benefit off of this in both ways here, I think. So it allows the pack to get a a different view of racing. It allows the fans to interact with different drivers, and it opens up the door so much to everything.
It does.
So.
And, I've spoke on it before. I know when I was a teenager and stuff, you would see wing sprint car races. You would see midget races. You would see all that would be televised.
Right.
And now
you have to get it on the pay-per-views.
Yep.
It's Dirt Vision. It's Dirt on Dirt. It's stuff like that. And, just not to talk about it again because we mentioned it last week, but I think these things need to get to the main market. So you don't have to search so hard to find it. Even if it's NBC Sports, something like that. Just put it on one package. That's my thing. They sometimes it makes it hard to really sit down and view that style of racing.
And you're 100% correct on that. And speaking of NASCAR, we had a big announcement come down the pipes this week at IMS.
We did. Not the major series.
No.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. They're close.
But I think with that,
it's a test.
Yes.
100%.
I think they're leaning towards that. I think they've heard people talk and they know they need to do something. And Roger Penske is not going to lose money. Roger Penske is a businessman.
100%.
He's about his money, and if that's not going to make him money, he's not trying to break even. He's trying to make money. So NASCAR come out and announced that this year for the nationwide or Xfinity race, they will be running on the road course at IMS for the first time.
Yep. And we saw them test.
Yes.
This year, but they tested the Cup car, did they not?
Yes.
So, I mean, you're obviously going to have some things that you're going to have to hammer out. I'm obviously going to go on iRacing, run that car. Let's do the super lates at the road course. Let's have some fun.
I'm down.
I mean, I'm excited for that.
I am too.
You have this course there. We've said it many a times before. Why not bang it out there? Why not get it done there? And really, I mean, the track's there. It's not like any extra money is invested. You're using that track in May, just 2 weeks before the 500. Now, I will say, I'm interested to see how they're going to do that. I mean, you're going to have a crew out there changing stuff over that night. I mean, you got to get stuff done. I guarantee, and I can hard arm guarantee this almost. Roger Penske's putting lights at IMS. That race will be a night race. You can mark my words. I guarantee that.
I don't know if it'll happen this year.
No. But that is his number one agenda, I would say, here at Indianapolis, is somehow get talk the town of Speedway, because that's who it is. I think is holding us back. It's the town there.
I think
they don't want it there.
Yeah, I think that has something to do with it. But and we've discussed it. And if you live in Indy and you're a race fan, you've heard it come up in discussions that something has to be done about that Brickyard race, because it's not exciting to go to. I'm sorry. If you want to go just for the aspect of seeing NASCAR, okay. But if you want to go in the aspect of seeing a good race, you're not going to get it there. No. So either A, you have to put the Cup cars on the road course and make it a full weekend of road course racing, which I'm a fan of, and I've said before I think they need another road course or two on the schedule.
Absolutely.
Or B, you put lights in, you make it a night race.
Yep.
That's the only two options
make that
to
exciting,
have.
Though. That's the thing. I mean, more people are going to come to the first one or two races, but after that, they're going to be like, man, it's the same style of racing.
It
but
is.
I guess, in the heat of that day, maybe it does cool off the track and help it out. That I can't say. But
something has to be done.
Yeah. But and Roger Penske, I mean, congrats to him, because he takes the track over last week. This week makes a huge change. He's already cutting down a bunch of trees there. When I say this, it's not living good trees. I mean,
no, they're dead trees.
These are trees that just look terrible. The museum looks so much nice. Somebody took a before and after picture, and you don't realize that sitting there. These trees. I mean, they're trees, but they don't have anything on them, and they're pretty much rotting.
Yeah.
And then you see this picture without them, and it's like, wow, man, that does. It looks a lot better. So. Roger Penske getting it done there, and they agree with you there. Make it a road course weekend. Do something with it? But But then, this is also, and this kind of brings us right into our guest here, but Roger Penske, another thing I think he's going to do there is bring an endurance race.
Well, there's already an endurance race coming.
The Daytona,
12-hour.
But not Daytona, the 12-hour GT.
And we've discussed it some, but my thing is, like, if you're going to do an endurance race there, I want to see the prototypes. I want to see the GTs. I want to see them all.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're going to bring IMSA there, I think, here soon. So
I want to see the full deal.
Bring a 24-hour race. And I think this 12-hour is a test again. So I think, like you said, Roger's not a dumb guy. He knows
not at all.
Got to work this out and got to make sure everything does, run smoothly before you put it in front of the big guys.
And real fast, to touch back on something we were discussing a little bit earlier, how you said, NASCAR's kind of fading out right now. And a few of us were racing the other night and discussing, and, I brought up the subject of with the rookie class coming into NASCAR this year, does that help kind of bring back some fans? Like we talked last year, the rookie class in IndyCar was one of the most exciting rookie classes we had seen in a long time. So with that being said, and I'm going to put a poll on the page later, we got 3 guys coming into the Cup Series next year that are they're studs. You got Tyler Reddick, you got Christopher Bell, and you got Cole Custer.
Yep.
All 3 of them running for good teams. Now you might say that Bell's not going to be running for a good team.
He's in that shadow.
He is running for a good team. I mean, they're basically fully backed by Gibbs Racing. And the only reason they're doing that is that's a way for Bell to still technically be involved with Gibbs Racing, but not having he can't have a 5-car team.
Right.
So there's not really a spot for Bell on the team right now.
So he's pulling in Andretti. But hey, he's going to get that focus just like we saw Colton.
Right.
He got a lot of that focus this year. So like you're 100% correct, and he's gonna show it up. He's gonna do it good. So we are just about to.
Good morning, Mr. Jeff Brown. Good morning, Imperial Racing. Good morning, Caleb Ramsey. And everybody else that we've seen everybody popping on. It's kind of hard to say really good morning when we're.
That makes my day when people like say good morning.
Right.
They're taking their time. A lot of guys just sit there and watch. But thank you guys all. As I say in the CWTV booth, show us that love. Let us see those thumbs go up. Let us know you're out there watching. We appreciate the interaction with everybody. Good morning, Brandon, as well there.
Or John, you can just send a heart because Tommy Boy's on here and you're boothing.
That's good. How did you do last night, team owner? Where's Leo at?
Leo! Burr, 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 burr.
I was thinking the same thing. That's good stuff right there. And for a guy that's our competitor, I couldn't. Me and him, we'll banter back and forth just randomly, and it's a good time. I really like him.
Look at all the hearts going up.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I love it. See, that just makes my day there. That's why I like it. So that is. We're just a few minutes away. Let's see if we can get a short little clip here of what's going on. That they're seeing that, not that. The whole
of our guest.
No, not of our guests. Let's see. We got a little.
What we got?
All right. We are back, and we got the boys here with us from Imperial Motorsports, fellas.
Yes, we do.
How are you this morning? There's one honest person in there. He says tired. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these guys with us. We talked to Tom, and I was calling him Trowbridge, and it's Trowbridge. I felt terrible. We had Thomas on last week, and now we got the road guys on here this week. They took on the 24 hours at Daytona,
and they killed it.
Yes, they did. You guys did a heck of a job. Why don't you run down? Because I think you got, I want to say, second in your class, 17th overall. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. 18th overall. Hey.
You should have just went with 7th.
Right.
No, I'm joking. That's a fantastic feat. So kind of run down, and you guys can throw it back and forth, and Tim has joined us in now.
I see that.
So now, like I said, just kind of go back and forth. Let us know what it's like driving in an endurance race, especially a 24-hour endurance race at that.
Yeah, so starting off the race, it's just like any normal race. You just want to stay out of the crap, really. We executed pretty well. I mean, we had Tim spot for me for the first leg, and we had Scott and KT looking ahead of the track, and I had great guys, spotting for me. After the first stint, it's like you just have to get your head down. You have to get ready for the next 22 hours of racing, and then from there on out, it's all about surviving. And with KT, you took the second leg, right?
Yes, I did. I was on second leg.
Yeah, and from there, it's just surviving. And, we had this plan of everybody needs to come in about 30 minutes to an hour before their stint and help spot for the guy who's racing currently and help him change over with, keeping the brake biases set, traction control, ABS, fuel mapping, fuel saving, calculating how much fuel we have for the end of the race. And from there on out, it's just digging and surviving, getting away from people who are, spinning on track and having guys helping you look ahead of you on track and behind you and where the position's at, where you need to push, where you need to change your line to save more fuel, to get better lap times. It was nuts.
Well, thank goodness you got an engineer on your team. I'd be blown away with everything you just described there.
And speaking of what you just described, I was talking to TommyBoy earlier. I was like, when I was watching the broadcast yesterday, I said, what really impressed me is when one of you guys would be out there on the track driving, the rest of you guys were given all the information. Hey, you got a DP coming up. He's 5 cars back. He's 3 cars back. You're a second faster than the guy, behind you. Just all the information you were relaying to the driver, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I got a couple of incredible guys here who put a lot of time and dedication, even just leading up to this event. I mean, we were practicing every day for at least 3 hours. We're leading up to this event with start procedures, scenarios, fuel scenarios, lap time scenarios. Tim was there running fuel numbers for literally the whole race. He was running fuel numbers for certain scenarios that we might experience in the race about maybe 60% of those fuel scenarios we didn't even experience.
But he made sure you had everything down if you did, though. That's
right.
Incredible.
Yeah, and we put a lot of time and effort into this Daytona 24, and I think we showcased, how much time we put into it.
Oh, absolutely. And,
yeah, you definitely did.
So 2 things here. I got to ask, do you guys have an iRacing iFlag pit box?
We do not.
I think that would help you guys out there. So next year we might have to talk about that, getting you guys taken care of there, because that could definitely help you out.
We might know a guy that can help you out in that department.
And then
That would be awesome.
Next year, we're looking for Sebring.
Hey,
there we go. Hey, Jeff, you're on here. You're hearing this. They're running Sebring. They're going to get geared up to run Sebring. We need some iRacing iFlag love.
We got a code there.
We do have a discount code, so we can shoot you guys discount codes over for pit boxes and iRacing iFlags.
Yeah, there you go. So,
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Do you guys now? Are you any of you guys running VR?
Yeah, I was, and I think Tim and KTR was as well.
Hold
How
on a
was that
second here.
Okay, yeah. 'cause
You know that Mr. Trowbridge is running VR because he cost me $400 last weekend.
They would for the
Did you go and get
race.
one?
Yeah, I got one. Yeah, I joined the VR ranks.
But I can only. I mean, are your eyes on fire still?
No.
Because I feel like
I'll be honest with you. I ran almost 8 hours with a 2.5 hour stint at first and about 4 hours at the I don't know. No, I ran a lot more than that because I was spotting. I was in the room for 19 hours, and for most of that I had my headset on. And I'll tell you what, with everything that was going on and everything that we were doing with other drivers and me racing, I never even noticed it. I knew that when I took off my headset and I'd go to the bathroom or something, I'd look in the mirror and there was a cutout of my VR headset around my face. But other than that, I mean, I really didn't notice it. It never really got hot either, so.
Yeah, that's
I'm glad yours didn't.
the one, because I know like if I'm in a longer race, I mean, I'm talking like a 45-minute deal because I've been trying to do my road course here as well. So I got some questions there for you guys. But I know like I'm in trips and my eyes, I got to remember to sit there and blink because I'll sit there wide open and then I'll come to a caution or something. I'm like, oh, man, my eyes. Oh, I'm hurting.
No, because last night was my first night with VR.
Uh-huh.
And I was on there for probably a good 4 or 5 hours and had the headset on the whole time. Didn't bother me, and I absolutely love VR.
Okay. Yeah, that's
I'm glad I could help you there.
Thank you.
Help, hurt, yeah, however you
sorry
want
about that.
So, Thomas,
Feed my addiction.
you said you were in there for 19 hours. Did you have your wife like come in there like, honey, I need you to slap me every half hour to make sure I'm awake?
I'll tell you, I told my wife about 3 weeks ago, January 17th, I'm going to be in this room. Get your time in now. And because I'm going to be in here for most of the time. I still haven't cleaned up from last night. I got a whole bunch of energy drinks in here and coffee mugs and
Right.
a whole bunch of stuff.
Kind of looks
But-
like the paddock around.
Right. You got goldfish?
We started that night at 6:45. We all met up in our Discord. We went over scenarios for the race, race time scenarios, adapting to what the race is calling for. We went over all of that right before the race at 6:45. So from 6:45 to 5:30 a.m., I was on the service. I went to bed at about 5:45,
Did you
and
wake
then I
up for
woke
the
up
end?
at 10:30, and right back to it.
Yeah, because actually you did. You finished the thing off, didn't you? Or no, Timothy
Yeah.
did.
No, I finished.
Was it?
it.
Okay,
Thomas
okay.
did.
So, man, you were digging there at the end, man, because I was watching it for probably the last hour maybe I had it up there, and I'm watching it, and it's at that point it's kind of hard to see like who is where, but I just see you're going around cars. You're going around cars.
Yeah,
You're
man,
going
they
around
were
cars.
every stint I was watching when I would pop in and watch, they were just every lap after lap after lap, they were hitting their marks.
That's- yeah.
They were laying the laps down. I was like, these guys are flying, man.
So
Yeah,
You need to hear the whole story.
Okay, let's hear it.
KT, you're on. Is that the name there, Katie?
Yeah, it's KT.
KT, let's hear it.
You need to let the two engineers over there tell you the whole story, starting at about 2 p.m.
Thomas, are you an engineer as well?
No.
No.
2 p.m. We were trying to run a little bit of fuel strategy because we knew we were going to be a little bit short for the end of the race. With Tim running fuel strategies, he was literally giving us, all right, you're going to be 4 minutes, 3:30. You're going to be 3 minutes and 30 seconds short, 3 minutes short. And I knew we were going to be right there, and we knew that we could do it. So from
It turned into like an Alexander Rossi 100th running of the 500 there, didn't it?
Yep.
exactly, and we had Tim doing the fuel complete 100% trust in it. So I was just, we had James in the car at the time, and James was doing what he needed to do. And then we saw that the first place car, because at the time we were in second, the first place car went back to their fastest guy that they had, and he was about 2 seconds faster than the guy who was on track right now. So we made a game time decision to put me back in the car at 4 o'clock, I believe, something like that.
Yeah, about 4.
So you don't have to like turn in times or anything like that, because I saw your stints there, and I didn't know if that was like official, if that's what you had to give to iRacing, or what was up with that.
iRacing mandates that every person runs 25% of the laps or something. Scott, you know that rule.
They have a fair share calculation that they do. So every driver has to run a minimum amount of laps. And I forget what it was. It was close to like, I think it was only about 15% was the minimum a driver had to run.
Okay.
Yeah, so everybody had to run 40 laps, I believe it was. So
You
we
could
were
have anywhere
plenty
from
in the go.
2 to 16 guys on your team. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And we had to run at least 40 laps. Everybody was clear of that by a month. So we made the game time decision to put me in the car and try to run down the leader at first. About an hour and a half to 2 hours in, we ran down the leader, and we were, 2 seconds behind him from a minute and 10 seconds back when I first started. And my computer froze.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
And we were at 99 incidents, and iRacing gives you a penalty at 100 incidents.
I saw when that and it pulled you into the pits there, didn't it?
Yeah, and I was
I
in
was
the
watching.
middle of the bus stop, and the computer froze, and then it came back on, and I'm in the grass in the middle of the bus stop. So I got 1 incident, and we hit the penalty. It was a 26-second stop and go, and it killed us. But we came in. It was 26 seconds, and Tim was watching first place, and he said, guys, he's not going to make it on fuel. We need to fuel save from here on out. So we filled her up. We put the engine map on 2 in the infield and 1 on the straightaways, which 1 is max fuel saving, 2 is mid fuel. And we almost made it. The leader ran into a little bit of trouble, so we were like, yeah, we got this. Put it in 3 so we can at least pass him, and then we can bring it back down to 1 for a couple of laps and stay ahead. But things didn't really work out in our favor at the end, and yeah, we came home second.
Well, hey, that's a long, and that was quite, because that was almost the end when you ended up having. So when your computer freezes and it's like that, like 22, 23
I'd have been
hours
freaking
in.
out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you're over there. No, your wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
the next 4 hours was spent trying to keep him calm.
Oh, I would have been freaking out.
Yeah.
I'd have lost my shit.
So we're just gonna put this out there now. We're gonna put a little GoFundMe to get Thomas an upgrade.
Exactly right. If there's any PC builders out there that are looking for a nice little deal there, Imperial Motorsports wins a lot. Why don't you help them out? Get your name out there. So that's another thing.
On the flip side of that whole story, I do want to say congratulations to the team that won. The Piloter McQuinston simulations. They didn't take tires for that entire last 2.5 stints. That was actually kind of impressive.
Wow.
Yeah, they did a phenomenal job managing their tires and fuel. They did a great.
I mean,
Travis-
Incidents. He had 99 incident points.
Yeah, if anyway, Travis McQuiston, I think that's his name. If he's watching this, dude, you did a phenomenal job.
Right.
Total hands down, kudos. Man, that was an awesome drive.
You gotta love hearing the competition come out, giving
Right.
a shout out, saying hey and everything. Good morning, Dennis.
And one cool comment too, as we were looking through the results tab, Really, GT3 was, from the best we can see, we're the only class that had more than one car on this. So props to us as well, obviously. We were able to actually keep up with our class leader as opposed to the rest of the classes. The leader was gone. So GT3 is a pretty fun class if anybody's listening.
Oh, as I was driving the AMG myself, and that is an absolute blast. Is the BMW in that same class as well?
The BMW is a GTE class.
Okay, because that's another really fun one.
Oh, wait. There is a GT3 BMW.
I think that.
Yeah, it's just classified separately.
That one wasn't in the race, though, was it?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's one BMW that was in the race, and I have that one in the AMG as well. So maybe one of these days I'll have to get out there with you guys. And
hey, man, absolutely. We're doing more endurance races this year. We're doing the 12 hours of Sebring, the 6 hours of Glen, the 24 hours of Nürburgring, Spa, and I mean, come on out.
Might need TommyBoy and Howdy to join in.
Yeah,
come on.
I don't know about that, but hey, here's a question for you, because like I said, I've been running through the road courses. I kind of like your guys, and I don't know if we mentioned this or not, but some of these guys didn't have their even a D license in road courses just 2 months ago. So another kudos to you guys for really pushing it down to the pavement and getting it done there. But myself, I tried to hop in there because I think I'm going to dig these endurance races. I'm really liking the road coursing on iRacing.
Well, I like those cars, period.
I mean, I like the F3. I mean, I'm a big the FW31. It's just got a little too much power for me right now, but it sounds so good.
It does.
But and then the DW18 even. I'm sure Tim, you enjoy that one.
Oh yeah.
But my question is, when you're on these road courses and you got guys coming up, and they're coming up a lot faster than me. I'm not that quick. And
you're talking in the endurance racing, right?
Endurance, road course, and just in general. So I'm off the racing line, and these guys are coming up, and they might be off, just hitting or missing a mark or something, and then they get into me, and then they get mad at me, or because I don't want to move. Is the guy supposed to move out of the way, or do you guys? How does that work here?
Hold your line.
That's okay. That's what I thought. It might not be a good line, but I'll hold when I'm running.
Yeah. That's the way I've always been taught, to hold your line.
In iRacing's code, it is the overtaker's responsibility to get by you. We had, in our class last for the 24 hours, we had a lot of respectable drivers in our lobby. And there was only a few, but they took care of themselves within the first 8 hours. So we weren't really worried about it. The DP class, for the 24 hours, they did a phenomenal job. So going into any of the corners, you could just take the unpreferred line, I guess you'd say, and you'd let the DP by, and you dive right back down underneath them, and it's almost like you never even lost any time, because you're getting a draft off the corner. You're not, screwing yourself up. Really, it's all about running your own race and just not crashing and keeping the car clean.
That's the big thing is, you go down to the end of this race, and I'm watching it, and the guys that are up front, their car is clean.
Yep.
It's ran clean.
It's just...
They might be a few laps down, but at the end of the day, they're running a top 10 because they kept it clean throughout that race, and they were able to hit those marks and
smooth and consistent.
Yeah, big mistakes there. So did you guys have to tow at all? Did we have any tows, anything like that?
We did not.
Very nice, because I'm sure some of these guys, they get in there. You can finish still with a tow. So, congrats to you guys. So the only incident points you really got, maybe a little bump on the door here and there, and then just going off into the grass maybe every now and then.
Yeah. The biggest issue would be the bus stop. It's always that entrance exit. You're trying to get the best line. It's always you're right on the cusp of it, and that was probably a good 60 to 70% of all of ours.
How many guys were in your that race? Because I saw one. It was like 100 and some cars going off at the start.
I've got it pulled up.
50.
Give me a minute.
I thought it was 62, wasn't it?
62.
Yeah.
That's very impressed, because that I think it was the morning the one that started there.
55
showing one, And this thing, I think there was like 100 cars in there or something. I mean, it was absolutely
So
incredible.
going back to the incident points in the bus stop, because I'm pretty familiar with running the Daytona road course, and like you were saying on the bus stop, you're on the cusp right there, and coming in, you're trying to drop that left front off, and then it'll shoot you and set you right up perfect for the next turn. Then you'll drop the tire off again on the exit. Now, does that count as incident points when you drop the tire off like that?
So it's a little different from bus stop to bus stop. Say like the Daytona road course and walk. They have some different parameters there for what's considered an off track. But if you can figure out where the off track is at, then you can really maximize your exit speed, because that's all that matters at the Daytona road course.
Right.
Because you have such a long straightaway after that. But the way to maximize it is to brake extremely early, get yourself through the first left-hander, and then by the right-hander, when you're coming back in the middle of the bus stop, you're supposed to be full throttle.
Right.
And by the third and fourth part of the exit of the bus stop, you should just be running a pretty much straight line through there, and you should get 0 incidents.
That's what I was. I had to follow a few people when I was practicing there, because I was trying to hit that thing way wide, and I was like, man, I am messing up every time. I'd go out of that thing and I'd smack those tires or whatever there, that wall that sticks out. I'm nailing it every time.
You're talking. Let's see. That's the last turn before you come on the oval.
That's on the oval. So you're on the oval, and then you're just doing that little stint there, and then you're back on the oval for that.
The bus stop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would just hit it too fast, and I was trying to hit it too wide. And then I saw somebody take it almost like you said, just straight. And they just barely made a turn. I was like, this makes sense now.
Yeah. To me, the worst turn on that track's the last turn before you come on to the oval. You're woeing it way down. It's just a hard left-hander. And you're trying not to lose your momentum, because you're getting ready to hit the high bank, and you want to carry all that momentum you can, run down to the bus stop.
Yep. So, hey, I asked Thomas this morning. I said, hey, are you done racing for a minute here? Yeah, I'm going to take a break here. But, hey, you guys start racing. You got some series, some leagues going on this week. Am I correct? I know Timothy
yes, sir.
does. So why don't you tell everybody where Imperial is going to be racing this week? And, man, I would love if you guys have a series that isn't broadcasted. I would love if I have an opportunity just to help you guys out, broadcast a race there and call one of your guys' races, especially if it was one of those IndyCar races. There's nothing better than, I think, in an IndyCar. And shout out to, I think it was Mr. Trowbridge. He took a win last week in the IndyCars, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Pretty dominant one, too.
Why don't you...
That's because I didn't show up.
Wrecked each other.
So why don't you give everybody a rundown of what you got going on this week?
Well, I could say I know this week for sure we've got a low fuel race again on Tuesday. That's typically a doubleheader day. We do low fuel in the IndyCar, and then we do OP Cup, which, again, we are now in the second race of our chase with Thomas, myself, and Scott, all three in.
Nice.
Very nice.
And then Wednesday, we have the Monsters of Dirt, at least I do, with the All-Star Series, sponsored by Checkers and Red.
There you go.
That's always an exciting one.
You can tell this guy works in Indy. He
Right.
nails it.
I'd have to say Thursday. They might have to remind me what else we've got running. I know there's the Monsters of Dirt stuff. I've been keeping an eye Monday nights.
Yep. Those street
Saturday,
stocks are fun.
I think Wednesday I'll be running Chili Bowl with another league we run.
Chili Bowl.
They got the midgets going on there.
Bowl.
Is it
And then Saturdays we've got that Monsters of Dirt Pricks of Pavement if we're available. Unfortunately, I apologize. Scott and I were not able to make it last night, as you can imagine. We were
completely understand that one. Yeah, that's
a lot of our seasons haven't really hit full force just yet. Most of them, at least the Cup side, we are focused around the actual NASCAR schedule, plus or minus a week or so.
Right.
So a lot of those are coming up here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. That's when our schedule gets really busy.
Yeah,
we've got Nora coming up also.
They just don't give you a break at that team, do they?
Yes, sir.
They say, here, race during the week, and then see ya. We'll watch you during the weekend.
Well, that's because they know come May they won't theme racing.
Exactly right. We got to get Timothy in there and get him done. So, hey, guys, I'm not going to keep you any longer. Thank you so much.
Hey, real fast, while Mr. Trowbridge is on here, we did have some news come out in IndyCar this week. Hinchcliffe got a deal with Genesis for he will be running the Grand Prix and the Indy 500.
Yep.
Yes, sir. It's pretty exciting to see.
Absolutely. So we'll look into some news for more IndyCar action. We'll keep you updated with the boys over at Imperial Motorsports. We're excited, guys. You guys are one heck of a race team. And I believe, Thomas, are you around this area as well?
I actually used to work with Tim, and that's how Tim and I kind of created this team. And so when Tim and I were working together, always talking about different leagues we can run and trying to come out and have some fun, picking up guys and picking up quality guys, and so, I used to be in Indianapolis, but now I live in Georgia. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Gotcha. I was going to say we'll have to get together for lunch sometime, but hey, maybe if you come
Are you going to Georgia?
No. Are you coming to the 500?
It could be a possibility in the future, but this year I'm taking time off to go to Tel.
If Tim gets us tickets.
Yeah, there you go. I like KT over
right.
there.
He gets straight to the point.
He throws it in there just perfect there. So, hey, guys, thank you so much. We did miss you in that Pricks of Pavement race last night. It was a fun one there at Charlotte. But
maybe for some it wasn't fun for me.
Yeah, we appreciate everything you guys do, hopping over there on the Monsters of Dirt as well and running with us over there. And
congratulations once again on your performance.
Yeah, we look forward to this year. It's going to be an absolutely fun one, exciting to watch you guys. And like I said, I'll get with you guys and try to get you something on a broadcast if we're missing one, because I'd love to call one of your guys' races.
And we'll get you those iRacing iFlag codes, too, thrown your way.
Yep.
Why don't you come race with us on Tuesdays?
Tuesday, the Low Fuel League, is that correct?
The IndyCar, come
I don't
race.
know if you want me racing with you, but I might call that for you, because I'd be an Imperial Motorsports bomb. Unfortunately, if I go into turn 4 and you guys are around me, you just better look out.
I might run it. I might hang in the back and just
get some experience there. So
well, Tuesday is Timmy's Wreck Your Teammate Tuesday race, so
I'd fit in perfect.
Take some of the bullets for it.
That's right. You were saying that. It's it's
we talked
Teammate
about
Tuesday.
that last week.
Yeah, that's right. So hey, maybe we will. Maybe we'll have some fun with it. The Checkers and Wreckers boys will meet up with the Imperial Motorsports and definitely be a wreck.
I'm down. So, Tuesday night, huh?
Yeah.
What time's that kickoff?
What time you guys do that? Is that 7:30?
7:45 practice.
Gotcha.
All right.
There you go. So, hey, guys, thank you so much for joining in with us today. I'm going to pop myself out of here, but we'll be talking for sure. And I can't tell you how excited we are for the future here with the teammate we got, or the team we got here.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for everything you do for us.
Absolutely. We'll be in contact.
Hey, man. Thank y'all.
Hopefully we can
thank you.
get together, do a little more here.
Yeah.
So thank you all. And we're going to hop on over. Do you like that? I showed Hayden that, and he was like, "What are you doing, dude?" It's not the prettiest rig in the world. You like that? Guy wanted to make his G29 bigger, so he zip ties a
I was wondering
wheel
I was like, what's he doing there?
So Hayden just got a new rig built himself, so that's what he's running in. Kind of interesting.
Okay.
You wouldn't think a guy that fast is running on. I mean, he's got a G29. He's got some different pedals there, but
hey, whatever floats your boat, man.
Right. That just shows you, you don't have to have the expensive shoes to jump. Yes, Brooks, it was a heartbreaker. So let's talk about that race last night. Hold on. We had do you like how I do this?
I do.
Hold on. I hope I did it right here.
The Monsters of Dirt.
Pricks of Pavement. Ooh, my laugh does not work with that one. But, yes, we had a very fun and exciting race out there. It was a little rough. But, hey, like I said, it's the first time these guys ran those super late models. And, boy, oh, boy, I'll tell you what, 2 weeks in a row now, the leaders could have used an iRacing iFlag.
Yes.
Or not an iFlag, but a pit box.
Pit box.
Because we got the number 1 and number 2 both weeks running out of gas. So Mario and Brooks, They put it up there for pretty much the entire race, and that green white checkered took him out of it because I want to say Brooks, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was under extra laps. That
yeah, and did you notice they were shutting it off and running down the apron to try to save fuel?
Absolutely, yeah, doing anything they possibly
Daniel
could.
goes, I think they're out of fuel. I was like, no, they're just shutting it off to save gas. He's like, oh, okay.
Doing everything they could to not run out of fuel.
But in the end, they did.
Yep, and
which I can't say nothing because, for one, I didn't even make the A main.
hey, it happens. But we had Rigsby won that one. Justin Rigsby.
Pork chop.
Yeah, that threw me off. I didn't see that. Second place was, oh, geez, I'm trying to think now. Oh, Caleb. So, Caleb, man, I'm going to give him a shout-out. Dude can wheel it. He's in street stock leagues.
He's been around a lot this week. He's been busy.
Oh, man, he's put it on the podium. I've talked to him in the booth a couple times.
I need to get more on that schedule.
Right.
I need to run more. My problem is I'll get there and I'll practice for, a little bit, and then I shut it off.
Right. Absolutely. That's what we got. John, 421 car. He was floating. He was up there, and he had to make a late pit stop there. So he ran out of contention. But, man, he was still putting it up there. That last restart dropped. He got up to a few spots there.
Got in a big wreck.
And then, ended up falling back a little bit. And then Dylan Blankenship got third. Thank you there.
Yes.
So TommyBoy got third in the UMP action.
Yeah.
At least
I seen that.
so
and
after,
the photo.
I didn't really get it, but John didn't get the picture. He just took the 2. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
The UMP. So afterwards, I finished the UMP. I was in the main. So
and that was an ugly race.
I don't think I caused any of the wrecks.
No.
So I was excited. There was 2 guys on the podium. So I said, TommyBoy's going to make a little photo bomb here. And I drove up there and parked right next to him. I was hoping they weren't going to take off like when I took off, thinking like I was the actual number 3 car. But, hey, it was fun. It was a good time. He said car was trashed.
It was. It really was.
I think about everybody's was. Davin Cardwell was not out there. Missed another one. That's Davin's MO there. Just missing. No, I'm just joking, Davin. He came in. He was just talking to me the other day. He's an interesting character there. Davin's
That's what you were saying.
Davin is a funny one. There's you get loads of good guys here. I don't think I've really met. Well, I have, but not many bad people up here. On
no, I have to say, most of the guys that I've met on here have been really cool, and if you have any problems, they're willing to jump in and help you out, and get things figured out, or setups, or whatever. They the iRacing communities, for the most part,
right,
pretty good people, and they'll help you out.
Right. So we'll stay on the iRacing for just a moment here. Do you think Corey Whitworth comes back? Does he get a street stock win this week? He's going on a drought now.
I'm going to say no.
He's going on a drought. The street stocks, I think, is picked up this year.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. I think the competition is picked up in street stock. Not saying it was bad last year.
No, it's just.
But I think, a lot of these guys have practiced and put the work in because they know that, last year Corey Whitworth was the man in street stocks. And not saying that he's still not, but, so far he hasn't got that W yet.
Absolutely. So we'll be watching tomorrow for that. But tonight, get a little action on SR.
Slide Job Sunday.
There you go. Sunday. So that's right. I made my first appearance in both races on Slide Job Sunday last week, and I really had fun in those sprints.
I was watching the Packer game, so I didn't get to see it.
Fair enough. But, yeah, I really had fun with those sprints, so I think I'm going to give it another go tonight.
Don't try the asphalt sprints. They're terrible.
I did the Silver Crowns, man.
They're terrible.
So I wish I would have pulled a clip, but it was too good. Caleb Ramsey's there in 4th in his first season in the street stocks. So Caleb Ramsey's going to be I bet he's going to get a win or 2 this year in those street stocks. I bet.
He's running good, man. He really is.
Yeah, but I threw a slider on John last week. I don't know if you saw that or not during Slide Job Sunday, but we're back in the C main, and we're running next to each other, and he's laughing because we're in the same Discord together. I'm laughing, and all of a sudden he's like, "No, don't do it." I'm going to try it. Never done it before, but I got the feeling for it. Like I was like, "Oh, this is how you do it." and I threw the nastiest slider square into the side of his car. So he said, "Man, you screwed me up. You took me out of that race." I said, "John, if you were back there racing with me for 2 to 3 laps, you weren't in the race to begin with." So.
He can't say nothing because what race was it last week where he just pounded somebody in the door?
It happens, man. It happens. These it might have been the UMPs last night. Like I said, man, you get on a slick track, you hit that throttle just a little too much, and you're gone. Trust me, I know it. I watched some in cars to see like lines that faster guys are running, and I pull, like John says, he goes, pull up Hayden Cardwell's. You're pointing in the infield. I was like, okay, I'll give that a try. Yeah, it didn't work for me. I'm spinning around. I'm hitting the wall. Then I get a message from Dustin from Bad Racing. It was during the qualify or my first heat. He says, "Hey, dude, run it like you were in practice. There's a gas pedal over there." I was like, "Oh, shut up!" I get so nervous. I get in these league races. I don't want to wreck somebody. I don't want to be the guy on a broadcast that. And this is the 6th time this jump's been on his lid or something like that. So,
and that's like I got in my first dirt league race this week.
Yeah,
I did some street stocks at Felucia.
Right. Yeah, that was with the Outlaw Dirt series.
It was.
The day the Monsters of Dirt takes a break, if you want to run over on the Outlaw Dirt series, they're doing some street stocks, and that's broadcasted over on CWTV. So.
I had Ryan Stillwell coaching me in my ear.
Man, that helps.
It does.
But like I said, the best race I've ran was when Cummings was in my ear saying throttle, let off. It was like perfect. So he did pretty good this week too. He didn't have a bad showing. Reading John's there. That's very true. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was getting at there. But these guys, Monsters of Dirt's putting on a great show this year.
I mean, every series. I mean, their numbers. I mean, Monday night, because CC and LJ's, had some weather come through and lost power and couldn't. His internet was out, so CWTV to the rescue. TommyBoy got up and got in the broadcast booth, and I hopped in with him and did some talking too. And there was 9,000 views on that show Monday night.
Right.
Which, hey, CC and LJ will be back this Monday.
Absolutely, yeah.
And not taking nothing away from them. They do a great broadcast, and I think I'm gonna run Monday night with CC and LJ and the Monsters of Dirt.
Yeah, I am too. I like it. I told John last week when he asked me, I was like, man, as long as I get my participation points. You got to give me points for this race because I'm going to run it. And I don't want at the end of the season John to come at me and be like, ha, I beat you by 4 points. Be like, whoa. I missed a race because I was broadcasting. So next time I'll broadcast from the cars. It'll be a miserable nightmare right there.
Yeah, I'm going to start running a little more dirt.
It's fun. It really is. And,
I just got to get the hang of it. And I'm not going to get the hang of it if I'm not out there running.
So right, exactly. Yep. So, and as John said, 47,000 views total last week.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Absolutely. And man, I know we had a good showing last night with the Pricks of Pavement. So I mean, for these guys coming out from dirt, that's what I stress to everybody that's watching these. It might get a little rough. These guys are getting used to these cars. They're not out there all the time. These are dirt drivers for the most part.
And I think the transition from dirt to asphalt is easier than the transition from asphalt to dirt.
Well, look at Lightning McQueen when he goes to the dirt.
I know.
He keeps flying off. That's exactly what I did.
I know.
So, no.
You're too fast, TommyBoy.
There's more wheeling in dirt. I mean, there really is. It's like going to a road course almost because you're not just turning left, and you are, but like Lightning says, you got to turn right to go left. It's like, yep, you got to turn right.
You got to be able to feel when that car is doing what it's doing, and
you have to have a lot more awareness of the car, and
you have to have confidence in your, like when I was running the other night, still I was like, no, dude, run it full throttle and sling it in there.
And that's so I said that last night.
And I can't do it. Am I going hard? No, man, flat out sling it in there.
So I finally understand now, like when an IndyCar, well, I don't fully understand, but like when an IndyCar F1 or, these high profile drivers, I mean, you just got to trust the car.
You do.
I 100%. Like a go-kart, you don't say that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but I mean, you're low speed enough. It's not like, it's not 200 miles an hour throwing it into a turn going, man, this car ain't going to take it at 200 miles an hour. But, man, that car can take it at 200 miles an hour, and it's a different level of it is what I'm saying. You still have to trust it. You got to know exactly what that thing's going to do. But it's different as, like, even last night, the leader that won, he said, man, I was throwing it in there, and I just had to – I knew this car could do it. And that's what some of these guys, they're not used to that. They don't trust that car, if you will, because it's not. It's an unfamiliar thing.
And I don't know if it's so much as a trust factor as, you know, when you're actually sitting in a car and you sling it in or whatever, you can feel the car. You know what I'm saying? You have a better feel. Where on sim racing, you know, you get a feel on the wheel, but you really don't get that feel of the car. So it's trial and error with the sim racing. You just have to keep sending it until you figure out the threshold of what the car can do.
Right. Absolutely. And that's the thing about dirt too, is an asphalt car to a certain extent is going to be an asphalt. I mean, an oval car, you've got to feel. It doesn't matter what you take around for to a certain extent.
Right.
But when you come to dirt, you take a Legend out, it's 1,000 times different than street stock. Oh, exactly. Yeah. I mean, so the learning curve on there is a lot different too. So we'll go back to we'll run them down in the Volusia Nationals. They were running some dirt last night or this weekend. So Volusia, they're at Volusia now for like the month. Right. They're there for the month. So if you're in Florida, you get some action there because they started this week with the Sunshine Nationals. They go all the way pretty much till the beginning of February there with the World of Outlaws.
Right.
So, and then hopefully we see Scott Bloomquist come back because he did go under the knife, I believe, this week for his hip surgery.
Yep.
So hopefully he'll be back in time for that. But in Volusia, Kyle Bronson, they were running the pros. He takes it. Michael Page gets second, and Walker Arthur takes third. And I got to be honest, I didn't see much of it with running last night's races. And then I watched what I could of the fights there. And so I'll have to go back and check that out. But Volusia is definitely a fast track.
Oh, yeah.
The fastest half mile. So it'll be a fun one to watch when these World of Outlaws come here or go there. I say come here, but go there and really duke it out there. You see the top dogs there. They'll be nailing it out and throwing that loud pedal down, if you will. So I'm trying to think outside.
And Daniel's mad because he wrecked on a caution because he's blinking out last night.
Oh, Daniel was blinky.
Oh, he shouldn't have been following me that close. Dude, you were under yellow.
Oh, man. Jason McConnell's nephew, Ashton Winger, had a big wreck last night, I'm guessing. I hope he is okay. Hope he's all right there, Jason. Never like to see a big one.
No.
Unless it was on iRacing. Then
then everybody walks away.
Right, you just hit that reset button. It ain't too bad. So I'm trying to think here. Looks like a little F1 news. Well, Charles Leclerc's younger brother is in the Ferrari Academy now.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Just happened.
How old is he?
I want to say he's a little younger than Mick. So maybe 3-4 years younger than Charles, however you say it. When I'm in F mood mode, I'll start calling Charlie Charles.
So he's probably 17, 18?
Yeah, something like that. So and obviously he'll probably come through the same steps that Charles Leclerc did with he'll start with Alpha and then work his way into that. But you almost wonder, is Mick maybe getting rustled around there? Because I mean we've heard the speculations of Hamilton coming to Ferrari. You're not going to drop Leclerc, so at that point there's your two team there. So that puts him out in the wings for a good amount of time there. But at that point, Alpha with the 2021 regulations might be just as good as Ferrari, and maybe he has a seat in Alpha there. But
who, Vettel?
No, Mick Schumacher. So that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
I'm wondering
yeah.
if he's starting to get filed out of this Ferrari line. Maybe he's not.
I don't
the
think he
driver
is
that they're
because
wanting.
for one, just because his brother enters that program doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a Ferrari driver.
No, absolutely.
There's a lot of drivers that go into these programs and if it comes down the pipe, say Red Bull needs a driver, they can go after him.
Right, 100%, yeah. But
I mean, that's Ocon. He's been sitting back there,
right. So and then which I'm not 100% familiar, but William signed Nissany as a backup driver. So I believe he was a top guy in F2. So it seems like Williams is trying to make some moves to get it done and maybe get 4 points on the board this year. Well,
I think a few of these teams are just trying to ride it out till 2021.
And that's what, if I'm Williams, that's what I'm doing at this point. And I'm telling everybody on the team, like, guys, I know this sucks right now, but we don't have the funding to do anything this next year.
Right.
When these regulations come down the line, let's get this all lined up. Let's get this ready. Let's get this baby out.
Yeah, you start putting your pieces in place now.
Exactly.
You get it all lined out in 2020.
And it ain't going to be
that
pretty.
way when 2021 rolls in, you got some solid pieces in line and ready to, go out there and get this battle going.
Right, 100% there. So,
but I'm kind of anxious to see how level the playing field becomes in 2021.
And like McLaren has said, I think we're going to see if it's going to be a few years until really these regulations are visible because Ferrari's putting in money to the 2025 season already, probably, where Williams is trying to find money for the 2020 season. So, I mean, you're still gonna have a grace period, but I think McLaren is expecting like 3 years is what that is before the playing field is actually like level, if you will.
But the thing that kind of sucks for some of these teams, because when they're doing R&D and stuff, they're not doing R&D for just next season.
No,
they're developing for 3-4 years down the road.
And
so you have all these teams that have been putting all this research in and all this time and money. Well, and then now come 2021, you can throw all that away. So, they wasted a lot of money on research and development for the future, which now that's not going to be the future.
Right. Exactly. Right. 100% there. So another small bit of news is Mercedes is going to unveil their car for next season on Valentine's Day. Kind of a weird day to do it, but hey, they're showing the love. They want to show the love to the fans.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I guarantee that's what they're going at.
I don't get it.
Something like that. So they announced that Valentine's Day.
Oh, it was at Volusia.
Yeah, I saw that. And then did you see Ferrari's car was accidentally released by the Italian media?
Yeah.
Whoops. So,
yeah, I did see that.
That's a nice looking car. I don't see
it
a
is
lot
nice.
of changes. That front wing, kind of what they did at Spa with the level. You know what I'm saying?
The
there?
steps.
Exactly. That is.
But
more
I
of
wonder here because
was
F1's
a
known
little-
to play
yeah,
games.
exactly.
I wonder if that's the real wing they're going to be running on that car.
Or if they just released that to say here's this and accidentally released this. So
Because a lot of these teams, if you follow F1 at all,
that's
it's
Alpha's front wing, really.
it's games.
Exactly. Oh yeah, 100%.
And if you notice when they come in the pits and pull the car back in there, one of the first things they do is cover the front wing.
Can't do that anymore.
Really?
They're taking that away. Yep. So the car has to be out in the open. I guess there's too many people doing things that they shouldn't do out there. So that is one thing that F1 is coming down and regulating now.
Wow. Because for years, the teams would send people out
Right.
and be spies.
Right. Absolutely.
They would purposely, they'd have them like with say like they would hire you and have Charlie with you. Hey, you and your son go act like you're fans.
Right.
And you want to take a picture of your son by the car.
So they can get an idea of what it. Yep, absolutely. So something else I saw too, and this is completely off topic, but somebody posted a picture of a car show, and this mom had their kid standing on the IndyCar wing. It's like, don't do that.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it, might be, but I mean, if it's out there, like it's just. I mean, that's an expensive piece of equipment right there, and I know that kid's probably not going to break it. But, I mean, common sense right there. It just tells you. Ask somebody maybe. Put them on the tire. But just to have them stand on the front wing, I thought was a little crazy.
And speaking of IndyCars, I seen something on. I follow a couple of different IndyCar pages on Facebook, and I seen where a couple guys were talking, and one guy said that Mario Andretti's, I think it was 1990 Lola, with engine in it, sold at an auction the other day for $87,000.
That's all.
That's what I said. I'm like, that's it.
I figured that. Now, granted, I mean, 90 wasn't the most desirable year, I guess.
But the cars back then, or maybe it was like
that's what it pretty much looked like. That Buddy was here, didn't it? It was a little like more compact, like smaller.
Yeah, because I thought those cars in that era were kind of proportioned well, because they had like the big back wing on it, and just everything was proportioned, and they were just cool looking.
Right. No, in the 90s, I mean, we see the car, I think.
The mid 80s, the 90s, I thought the cars were good looking.
And I think the car is kind of just a little more aerodynamic. Look at that now. They kind of went away from that for a little bit, and now it's kind of getting back to that.
I would agree. I think last year's car is one of the best looking cars they've had in a few years.
Yeah, that one's hideous.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
With the back panels on the tire.
That car reminded me of NASCAR's Car of Tomorrow.
Right.
When they had the wing and stuff. Yeah.
So, I'm trying to see what else we got here. Man, I don't know.
Hey, what's up there, Mr. Greg?
I appreciate Greg.
I do too.
Greg.
I really do. He's the one kind of got the whole iRacing ball rolling with us.
I thank him every time I see him pop into the chat or anything there. Thank you so much, Greg. He got us hooked up with the monsters.
And I see a couple of his guys are battling out for some championships.
Yeah.
I can't think.
I know Gaiman, he's fantastic in those sprints.
Yes,
so
yes.
We'll watch him tonight at Slide Job Sunday. So, but I'm getting better now with some of these guys and what teams they're on.
War Faction.
Well, I know War Faction Esports definitely, but they do a little drifting. He does some pavement himself, so they're not a one.
He does a lot of. Greg does a lot of
pony.
traveling. I noticed the other day he took a picture. He was in Mac Miller's park.
Yep, they're in Pittsburgh. He takes some good pictures. He gets out there and sees a lot of the country there, so that's pretty cool. Man, I'm trying to think if we got anything else.
Well, I know this coming weekend's going to be the actual Daytona 24.
So, Haley Deegan.
Yes.
She's going to be running that in that Ford. So, we'll definitely keep an eye out there. See what.
I think that's, and we touched on. I want to sit here and say, a lot of people will disagree. She left Toyota and went to Ford. A lot of people are saying, oh, she had that Toyota backing. I understand that. They weren't giving her the opportunities that Ford's given her.
Exactly.
I mean, she signed with Ford a month and a half, 2 months ago. They're already putting her in a sports car at Daytona. They're putting her in
she's in the ARCA series.
They're putting her in trucks.
Yep. I mean, they're going to give her a full-fledged run here.
Right. They're going to give her the experience she needs. So it's the ball's in her court now. It's up to her. So you need to go out and show what you can do and learn, because especially like the 24-hour race, the team you have around you,
100%.
Be a sponge. Absorb everything these guys are telling you.
And they're probably telling her just keep it clean. Just like we were talking with these guys, hey, don't worry about your speed this year so much. Keep that car clean. Don't mess it up for us.
Right.
We'll get you picked up. If anything falls back, we don't want you to worry about that. Just keep the car clean.
I think she's going to do good.
Oh, I agree.
I think she's going to do good.
So it'll be a fun one to watch there. If I can stream any of that, I will.
I'll definitely be tuning in and watching it from time to time.
See what I can see. Well, I'm saying on the actual page.
Yes.
I don't know. We'll see if I can do that. Good morning, good afternoon, Mr. Proudfoot. That's a great racing name.
I was just ready to say I love that name, Proudfoot.
What a great racing name. Unless it's the left Proudfoot.
Right.
You want the right Proudfoot.
That's what I call my throttle foot, my proud foot.
There you go. That's fantastic. So, trying to think, again, another congratulations to the boys at Imperial Motorsports.
Very much.
Getting that 24-hour race ran.
And speaking of Daytona, we got some NASCAR testing been happening because it ain't going to be long.
No,
Daytona 500.
Yep, absolutely. It's right.
And whether you're a NASCAR fan or not, and I'm not as big as fans I used to be, but I will be watching the Daytona 500.
Yeah,
and all the stuff leading up to the Daytona 500.
Right. And, hey, it's a new season. You never know what's going to happen. You got a lot of rookies in here. We got the IndyCar pretty much excitement for the rookies this year in NASCAR.
I'm excited to see this rookie class in NASCAR.
100%. I completely agree with you there.
And my vote's for Christopher Bell.
I think I think Cole Custer's going to take it. But, I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Bell's just – and not taking nothing away from Reddick or Custer – Bell's just, man, he just drives the hell out of that car.
You're right, but here's the thing that I do see. So we talked about the positives in dirt. Bell and Larson are both very big dirt guys.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't 100% focused in NASCAR, and they both made that very apparent. And Larson says, "I'm still gonna race there. I'm still gonna do this." So I wonder if these guys do have a little taken away from their NASCAR. And I get dirt makes you a better driver.
I'm gonna say Bell's 100% focused on NASCAR because this is his first shot at coming into Cup. So you got to prove something or you're not gonna be running in Cup. And for him to fund his dirt racing, he needs to be running in Cup. So, and he's a wheelman. He's a driver. He's a racer. He's going to go out there, and whether he just ran Saturday night at the dirt track and come Sunday, he's going to perform in the Cup car too.
Right, absolutely. So, I mean, and we've seen Larson win because he's driving it like it's on dirt at the end of a race or something. He's got slick tires or something like that, and he's able to throw not a slider, but I mean an asphalt slider, if you will, on some guys and bump the wall and go. So, I mean, we've seen it happen.
And I think that's part of Larson's demise in NASCAR is he's always balls to the wall. You know, where I think he needs to learn how to save the car sometimes.
Right, but that's part of, I think, his dirt background.
I agree. I agree.
You're driving more with a throttle.
But you've been in Cup long enough now, and you're considered one of the stars in Cup.
Right.
Okay, so now you need to start proving why you're considered a star.
Yep. So, that's a long one there.
I know,
right? Sorry about that. We're reading there. Better a lot. Yes, and Dylan, these guys are fantastic. Sorry, Dylan wrote a nice little thing there, so we were reading that. But these guys over at Monsters of Dirt, man, this is the league to get into if you want to help. These guys, I mean, some of these guys, they got that rough persona, but they will help out no matter what. I mean, you ask a question, they'll help you out. We've had guys in our ears helping us drive. So you joined the right league here. And you had a heck of a run last night, that's for sure.
You did. You did. Good job, buddy.
Absolutely.
And that's another interesting thing about Monsters of Dirt, you know. The name is Monsters of Dirt, but this year, you know, they are running the Pricks of Pavement series. So they're trying to give you the best of both worlds, whether, you know, if you want to run dirt, you want to run asphalt, you want to run both. You know, John's trying to give you, you know, every option you can to come in here. The only thing that he's not doing is road course racing, but it's not to say that that's not going to happen.
John was talking about endurance.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. It's not to say that's not going to happen, you know, and Pricks of Pavement might even have, right now, they're just doing the super late models and the SKs and alternates. 1 week's super, like last night was super late models. Next week will be the SKs.
Right.
And, you know, maybe even branch into some other stuff because I would really like to see a K&N series because I love those cars.
Right.
And, but yeah, I mean.
So Dylan's been racing with John since the console days.
So oh wow!
He was an asphalt guy, I'm guessing, with John there. So John, Dylan, all those guys showing their asphalt knowledge last night. Like I said, John was fast.
John was fast. That's one of the best runs I've seen him.
He made a fixed setup look like it was not fixed. It was like, well, John, did you type in something? Did you do something to that setup or something? Because you're floating, dude. So Passmore says K&N.
K&N on dirt. Hell, I'll give it a try. I'm not scared.
So here, real quick, little mix of iRacing into the real world. I meant to mention with the Chili Bowl. Did you read this? They took the design, like the laser pass that they did on the Chili Bowl, 2 years ago, to help with the model of this year's Chili Bowl because they couldn't get it figured out. Something was wrong, and the drivers were having a problem. So they go to iRacing, get the old scan, and boom, they nail it out. So iRacing to the rescue. iRacing comes into the real world there. So, hey, that's why we cover it. I know we've gone a little deeper into iRacing lately, but hey, it's the off season now.
And they do go hand in hand. I mean, you got a lot of guys in the off season this is what they're doing. They're iRacing. You know, they're keeping their skills honed. Yes, it's not the same as being on a track, but you are getting some seat time.
And you're hitting your point, you're hitting your marks, you're learning your brake spots, stuff like that. I mean, you're getting the technical aspect if you want to keep that.
Right.
Or if you just want to play it as a game. Hey, it's one hell of a fun game too. So,
it is. It is.
I absolutely love it. I'm hooked.
Yeah, you know, I will say that after doing the VR thing, I'm looking forward to going home and getting in the rig and getting on the VR again.
You gonna watch the Packer game in VR?
If I can, I would love to. I would love to be able to do that.
I wonder if that's a possible. I'm sure it is.
I know NBA you can do it.
Did you do the roller coaster or anything yet?
No, but it was cool when you first set it up. You have to go in there and you know you got your hand controllers and stuff. But there's like a little robot like Wall-E type Johnny 5 thing that flies around.
Nice.
And it'll hand you like different discs you put in this disc drive, and it'll like one had like these rockets, and you'd pick the rocket up and pull the string, and it'd take off. Then another one had a gun you'd pick up, and you got to shoot these targets. And then like when I first log on my Oculus and get ready to get iRacing going on, I sit there and I got like this in my virtual house. I have like this big marble floor.
I've seen that, yeah.
And it's got the balcony out there overlooking the mountains. I have a little fireplace going. You hear the fire cracking there.
I was grabbing for the table because that's the one thing I've seen in a VR, and I kept grabbing for that. I was like, no, that ain't in front of me. So John says you can watch the game on there. So Chris's dad walk in his room, he'll see, oh. Someone could sneak around there and not know. You'd never know.
No, you wouldn't.
You got the noise in your ear.
Because there's no light that gets in there, so you don't know.
Somebody robbing you blind during the
unless they're making some noise, because you don't have anything that goes in your ears.
Okay.
Because you're like your.
I didn't know if the sound came.
The sound comes from like up in here or out of the here, but so you don't actually have anything covering your ears. So if they were noisy, you'd hear them. Like, what the hell?
Take it off there. So, hey. John says his sons are punching walls with it on there, so that's some good stuff right there. That was you talking last night about the mountains?
Yeah.
So you could see the mountains a little better there at the track or something?
No, when I was when I had logged out of iRacing and I was sitting there getting ready to shut everything down, but I still had my Discord. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm doing right now? Sitting here looking at the mountains, got a fire going in the back.
Nice. That's hysterical. So. Oh man, you got anything else to cover today?
No, not really. I mean,
we didn't give Evan C his love. He won the All-Star race this week.
Yes, he did. He did. He did.
Evan C took that,
and that was a good race Wednesday night.
It was not for us necessarily. We got second in owners points. And
yes, we do.
I think we're still sitting second.
We had Hayden and JD finish fourth and fifth.
Yep. So they were right there with each other, but.
The Team VLR team's going to be hard to beat, man.
Absolutely. But, hey, Borderline Racing was the one this week.
Yeah.
Dylan Hauser got second. He was getting the runaround at the after show that first time. Comes out the next week, puts it down, says, hey, talk. I'll bring it.
And couldn't nobody complain about Wednesday night because I was adminning and watching. Or, no, I was in the booth. No.
Right. No,
I wasn't in the booth Wednesday night.
Oh,
I was.
Yeah,
I was in the booth Wednesday night, so I was watching it, and the kid ran clean. He ran a good race, so can't nobody say nothing about that.
Kevin Folds brings up they need to bring back the dirt at Bristol because that was a good one. I remember that a couple years ago. That was good. They were running faster times than NASCAR. That's impressive there. So good little tidbit there, Kevin Folds. So hey. That's what we got right now. I know, like we said,
next week we get back into some racing and things are going to start kicking off.
Absolutely. So we got Slide Job Sunday night. That's on SRTV.
Yes,
You got
with Jay Weezy.
Maniac Monday on CC
CC
and
and
LJ.
LJ.
With the Street Stocks
Which
Tuesday.
all three of us are going to be running tomorrow night.
Oh,
'Cause,
yeah.
the ass will run, you'll run,
Yep.
I'll run. So tune in and
Limited late model.
watch
on
us.
SRTV.
Yep.
You got that's Tuesday. Pro Series on SRTV Wednesday.
Yep.
Saturday, you got the mods on Ultimate Dirt, and then you got the Pricks of Pavement on CWTV. CWTV's got some shows this week. We got the Monsters of Dirt, obviously, like I said. We're doing the Pricks of Pavement Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
The Mud Rebels are taking a week off. They'll be back the next week, but then we have the Outlaw Dirt Series and the Battle of the Borders. So the Outlaw Dirt Series will be Thursday.
Yep.
Battle of the Borders Friday. So come on out to that. We'll be having
And that
some
Thursday
fun.
night's a good series.
That is, yeah, definitely. The Battles of Border. It's a newer one. Those guys are trying to get it. They'll get it cleaned up. It was a little rough this week,
Yeah.
but they'll get it there. You know, they're asking the right questions. They're getting it done. So check both of those guys out. Like I said, and then the Mud Rebels. They're off this week. They'll come back next week strong on Saturday. So if you're looking for a good little league, and then obviously the boys 7:30 Wednesday. They're going to go live from Royal Blue again. They'll be out there having fun. And I'm trying to think. www.bwsports1.com.
We'd like to welcome a new sponsor to the BWSPORTS1.com networks.
Yes.
Was it Gruntworks Custom Woodworking?
I think that was a lot better than what you thought it was at the beginning.
Gruntworks Custom Woods.
There you go. Boom.
In Fort Hood, Texas. He is a military vet, and he's actually going to do a nice wood checkers and wreckers sign that we can hang up in the paddock, and he's going to do one for Black and White Sports too. So I'm pretty anxious to see what that turns out like. Welcome aboard. It's great working with you, and we always encourage new partnerships. You know, whether you want to work with us here at Checkers and Wreckers, you want to work with the fellas over at Black and White Sports, or if you'd like to work with the whole BWSPORTS1.com network, hit one of us up. We'll get everything going on, and we'd love the opportunity.
I'll tell you what, here shortly, we just finalized the deal with Orlex as well.
Yes.
So the paddock's going to be getting a little makeover. Orlex has been nice enough. They're sending us some, it's not soundproofing. I had it wrote down here, but noise canceling.
Noise canceling.
So it's going to be... the sound in the paddock is going to be improved. I'll have all the tech information, all that stuff for you here when we get that going. But finalize that this week. I'm looking forward to that. They seem very excited. They wanted to partner with a podcast, and they had a few people in their office that said, "Hey, we're iRacers. Check out these Checkers and Wreckers guys."
Nice.
So I mean, it worked out perfect. And if you're looking for something to just line your room there. Maybe make it a little more quality.
If you got a studio or a jam room at home like I do,
Yep.
And the neighbors are kind of complaining because the noise is loud, put some of that stuff down and it'll deaden the sound for you.
There you go.
And we'd also like to give a shout out to the folks over at Butt Kicker.
Yep.
The Butt Kicker. Get your butt kicked. They're nice enough to Mr. Zach McSwain won a butt kicker last year because he was the pro late model champ for Monsters of Dirt. Who's going to get it this year for the Checkers and Wreckers All-Star Pro Late Model Series? Be giving away another butt kicker. And I don't know if you've seen it in the comments earlier. Jeff Brown over at iRacing iFlag said, I know you said it's top secret, Jeff, but you posted it, so I got to talk about it. Said that they're working on something right now for the VR guys for to cool it down.
Mm-hmm.
So you get
Keep
one of
an eye
those,
out
Jeff.
there.
You send one Howdy's way because I'll be your guinea pig and try it out.
Yep. So check these guys out. iRacing iFlag. I love mine. I know I can't wait when I get to the more endurance things. That's when that will really come in play for me. But I know a couple times already I've been looking at it and been like, oh man, I'm getting low.
Speaking of it, we were running a practice race Friday night, I believe it was, and we're at Charlotte on the super late models and coming through the turn. I look down at my iRacing iFlag and I'm trying to read stuff on there. I looked back up at the track, and it was too late. I hit the brakes. I ran right into the back of Chubb on the pace lap.
I saw somebody go sideways. Chubbs and started laughing. So, congrats to him. I felt bad last night. I go into his booth. I said, "Chubbs, you're in third, dude," because he's always said, "If I'm in third, I might just back it out because I don't want to talk on the podium." So I had to get him on there. So we got AC on the show last night. Check that out. That's
He's a super nice guy.
A rare occasion there that he'll get on the mic. But yeah, absolutely. Really
if you need
nice.
some wraps done for your iRacing cars, hit up AC2 Skins.
Yep. So he does a fantastic job, and he is the silent guy behind the Monsters of Dirt. He's kind of like what's the nice monster?
Well,
with the dude from Monsters Inc. He's the blue guy.
Oh, Sully.
Yeah, and John's Frankenstein. So
no, John's Mike Wazowski. We're always watching Wazowski.
That's good stuff right there. So, well, thank you all so much for tuning in this week. I think we've.
I think we're good, man.
Board there, so
it was cool to talk to the guys from Imperial Motorsports today. Yeah. And if you want to know what we were talking about, you can go to Imperial Motorsports on Facebook, and they have some videos up from when they were running the Daytona 24.
Yep.
Give them a check it out. Watch what they were doing, man. It's just awesome stuff. Those guys are fast.
100%. Yeah, I agree. And it seems like they're putting a banner up every week. That's cool that they do those banners anytime they win. And it seems like if they had a real shop to hang those banners, number one, the banners would be expensive. And number two, they need a bigger shop. So,
hey, and I just seen somebody pop on. We'll give him a shout out too. If you want some team photos or photos of your cars taken in iRacing, if you're trying to attract some new sponsors or whatever for iRacing, hit up Justin Sick, man. He does some, not to sound cliche, he does some sick photos.
Right, absolutely. No,
he does some real nice photos in
really
iRacing.
Good job with that. His editing is really good. It's he gets the good angles, everything like that.
Oh, predictions. He wants some predictions for Wednesday night. I'm going to say CWR. That's my prediction, baby.
CWR. And a lot of people would think Hayden's going to get the first win for us. I'm going to call it right now. I think JD's going to do it. JD is, I'm starting to call him the king of the jungle. And
I like to call him the silent assassin because he's
going to pound.
He's not up front.
Nope.
He hangs and lurks and waits about right there, keeps it clean. Into the race, he's there.
Yep, absolutely.
It's like, where'd he come from?
Now, I'm not saying Hayden's not going to do it, because if Hayden gets out front, see ya.
Yeah, if he gets out front, he's checking out.
See ya. So,
but
JD is the most patient, younger driver
he is
I have ever seen on iRacing. And there's a lot of young guys out there, and you can tell just when they make a move, JD, you can tell he races in the real.
Yeah. Because
he's not going to make a move that's going to take guys out. And do stuff like that. Not saying the other guys will.
And I felt bad for DCJ last Wednesday. Things weren't going for him.
Hey, he's going to turn it around. It was a rough week for DCJ.
It was.
It seemed like it wasn't his fault. But any race he got into, and he even says right there, I predict DCJ will grind for his heat. You'll do a good job, or grid for his heat.
Yeah, because he didn't grid for his heat.
How about you grind and grid there, buddy?
Bud?
I think DCJ. I know he's starting to put in. I talked to him, and he's over there like, dude, I'm practicing Knoxville. I got to get this down. So he's one of the top scorers in all-time Monsters of Dirt points. So don't count him out at all. But DCJ, I think, is going to be our late season guy.
So
he's going to come in there, and he's going to be the guy that really helps us take it to the top there. So
we got some Brandon saying Blake and Daniel saying Evan C, which, hey, both them guys are fast. I'm not taking nothing away from them. But like I said when I was in the booth Wednesday night with Jay Weezy, I'm confident in the drivers we have, and I'm not going to bet against them because I think all four of our drivers can go out and win any given race, any given night. So, and I'm not going to pick just one of them. I'm going to say Team CWR.
Fair enough. I'm with you there. Like I said, I'm very impressed watching JD this past couple weeks here, just how patient he is. That's Hayden might have the speed. He's got that hammer down foot, but man, JD, we just have a really good combination in the Ford. I think you got, like I said, I think DCJ is going to come in big at the end of the season here. That's kind of what we saw last season. with him in the Monsters of Dirt is he picked it up there near the end, and he was starting to really draw in these top fives and stuff, and he got that win at Williams Grove, and that's what I'm predicting right now, because he's in one of those racer slumps right now. Like I said, it seems like any wreck that happens, he's a magnet for it. It's like he ain't even around it when it happens, but they're going to find him somewhere. They're going to enter the track or something and just nail him, and I know it's getting to him. So you just keep it out of your head, DCJ.
Yeah,
you know
I think sometimes that's what it is. It gets a mental game because now it gets in his head. Dude, just go out there and do what you do. You're fast. You're a hell of a wheel man. Just do what you do.
Absolutely. So and then not counting Mason, the missile either. So I mean, we got a heck of a team. So
we do. These
guys over at Knoxville will be fantastic. Austin McGlone, he got a win in the heat this week with Monsters of Dirt.
Mm-hmm.
And, he got so excited. He came into the Discord. And he's like, "Sorry guys, I got excited." I was like, man, right on. No, that's awesome there. So there you go. Exactly. It is. It's the checkers and wreckers effect, Dan. It is. I'll stop cheering for you.
That's I can't say nothing.
He nailed it out there. Oh no, I'm just giving him a hard time because I talk to him pretty much every day.
I know you do.
That's just unfortunate for him. It's just one of those racer things, man. You can't seem to miss anything, and like I said, it's no fault to him. So
that's kind of how my race went last night. I just couldn't get anything going.
Well, they used to. That's what Hanowski used to say. It was like, man, you always had the worst luck. It's like it could happen 10 feet up in front of you, and you could have seemed to get around it, and then somebody's going to clip you in the back or something, and just you're out of it. So that's all we got here this week. Thank you so much for joining in.
Go Pack!
I was waiting for that. You guys got the late game or the early game?
We have the late game.
Well, there you go. You get to do a little iRacing when you get home.
I'm going to. I'm getting the VR on.
Absolutely. So
I'm going to go stop and buy an air fryer, and then I'm going to go home and strap the VR on.
That sounds like a good day over at Howdy's house.
Right.
And a little
chicken wings and iRacing.
There you go, and some football later. So, hey, check out the boys over at Black and White Sports Wednesday at 7:30.
Royal Blue Sports Bar.
Right after that, check out Monsters of Dirt going live for the All-Star Series. After that, we got the after show.
We do.
Goodness gracious. And then
I was tired Thursday morning.
I was a little tired last night and Wednesday night there. But, hey, I'm a vampire. I'll make it through. But thank you all so much. Appreciate what you guys do for us. We're over 4,000 strong now. Can't thank you enough. He's jolly.
Yeah.
So
tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody. Go over and hit the like button and checkers and wreckers.
Absolutely. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you, Leo. I like him even more.
Oh, man. Come on.
Right.
Leo, I thought we were buddies, too.
No, that's me and him. He's my boo.
No, John's your
My boo. There you go. Thank you all so much. Remember to drive fast, shift hard, and keep the rubber on the road.